These are the 10 watches to buy under $1,000 or to get gifted or to give for Christmas or not for Christmas.
This also works, not Christmas.
You can use the generic as well. There's no Christmas watch here. Like.
Watches aren't just for Christmas.
Watches are not just for Christmas. Watches have rights too. Before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel now. And if you want to buy or sell a watch, prideandpinion.com. We sell everything from Casio, Richard Mille, to AP, to Patek Philippe, to Rolex, to Tudor, to Omega, to whatever the hell. We sell it all. We buy it all. We are gonna do business. This video is sponsored by Odoo, but more on that later. Now let's get stuck in the 10 watches. None of the watches are in order.
Okay guys, I love Nico Leonard, and these, like you mentioned, are the top 10 watches under $1,000 you need to buy right now. Looking for the best watches under $1,000 to treat yourself or find a perfect gift? Well, you've come to the right place, because this list is going to feature watches that are way above their weight in terms of punches, and these aren't just your typical budget watches. These are watches that look very expensive, but they won't break your bank. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, these are the ultimate picks for the savvy watch lover. So, my name is Daniel, this is Chrono Sapien, and let's dive into this review.
Now let's get stuck in the 10 watches. None of the watches are in order, so it is not a top 10. These are just my 10 picks. So number 1 doesn't mean it's the best, and number 10 doesn't mean it's the best either. By the way, there's a few belters in this. I am a pretentious prick, and I don't know anything below $1,000. You're not gonna put that in, you dickhead, or I'll shoot your dog. All the watches selected are brand spanking new and have the retail price below $1,000. Not a piece of shit Chrono 24. Watch number 1. I find it very difficult because I would like to add several watches to watch number 1 because there's several variations of this watch. Made by a brand called Frederique Constant, a brand that finds its origin in 1988. Funny enough, started by some Dutch people. Back in the day, they copied Patek Philippe. Today, they try to go their own way, and they have done an incredible job in the last couple of years. I'm starting off with the Frederique Constant Classic. It's a quartz-powered watch, meaning there's a quartz movement in this watch. Us watch snobs don't really like quartz, but I think the world is changing a wee bit with FP Journe bringing out a quartz watch as well. Value for money in this case is number 1, and the watch looks significantly more expensive than it actually is. With a retail price of £695, which is the equivalent of probably $850, I think this is a perfect dress watch with a really cool strap and a really cool dial. It also has a date complication. I don't know the reference number at the top of my head, so Johnny, I'm gonna read this out, yeah? FC240GRS5B6. An absolute belter of a watch that will be perfect to gift to someone, but also to buy for yourself.
Okay guys, this Frederique Constant is very nice. That green kind of fits with the theme of last year that we've seen, with the Seamaster and many other watch brands such as Omega coming out with green dials and green watches. I mean, even TAG came out with the green GMT Aqua Racer. I think that definitely kind of fits the bill for many people in terms of green and scratching that itch. Quite like the Hulk, right? A lot of these watches might make you go mad and give you some sort of watch fever. And so be careful watching these videos because you might just get addicted. And when it comes to this, I mean, quartz, like he said, FP Journe coming out with the quartz watch, a watch brand as big as them, I mean, that's pretty remarkable, especially because they're a watch lover's watch. Of course, Cartier has nice watches, and many of which are quartz as well, but that is a jewelry company, and as beautiful as jewelry is, I mean, it's not necessarily a watch lover's company, but I think we can all say that we appreciate Cartier. Wow. Boy, was that a tangent. But let's continue and watch more of this.
Watch number 2, the famous Tissot PRX. The Tissot PRX has changed the watch world as it is today. The watch was based on an early 1970s release by Tissot. There's several variations of this watch with several sizes, and I would say the 35 is really cool, but my favorite will always be the 40. That's what happens when you're a fat man. My favorite is, of course, the automatic variation, and there is like this turquoise blue Tiffany inspired thing turquoise, yeah, whatever. I'm not here to, I don't speak it, yeah? It's me, no speak English, yeah? It's just a belter of a watch, value for money. I don't know the exact retail price of the PRX, but I think they start from about $300-400 upwards to about $800-900 in general. And you have the perfect watch there. Basically, you don't really need another watch next to that. Marco, what is the retail price of a PRX? $725 for Powermatic 80 US dollars. 40 mil.
Bargain.
Bargain.
Description.
Link in the description. Buy now. prideandpin.com. By the way, we don't sell the PRX.
I don't know what link's going to be there.
Yeah, whatever.
Click it anyway. See where
Click it anyway. See where it ends up. I love a good bracelet. And that's why watch number 3 is a Hamilton Khaki. The Hamilton Field Khaki Automatic. There's 1,000...
Okay guys, I gotta say, first off, I just noticed what Nico's wearing, and that is a Tudor gold chronograph. Wow, that is a sick watch. Haven't seen too many people actually repping it on wrist. So definitely nice to see that. And yeah, I mean, the Tissot, of course, it's a legendary brand. There's been many great Tissots. Some of them have been featured in phenomenal movies, such as Mission Impossible, on the wrist of Tom Cruise as he dived into that gigantic data center under the water. And I mean, of course, that was one of their more digital style watches. But, you know, it's even been featured in other movies as well. Don't quote me on this because I might be wrong, but I could have sworn it was in a very old James Bond movie. Probably not the most favorite James Bond actor of many, but do a Google search. You'll probably find it there. That being said, Hamilton, I am looking forward to what he has to say about this. Hamilton is amazing. I think it was my first actual mechanical watch that was a Hamilton field watch. And yeah, I mean, this is fun.
But there's one watch on the bracelet which is absolutely spectacular. Value for money. The retail price sits at £750 sterling, which is probably the equivalent of $900. Value for money right there. It also comes on a leather strap. That one is a wee bit cheaper. That one is a retail price of £640. The brown leather strap is lovely. It also comes with 2 sizes, 38 and 42 millimeter. I prefer what? No, this is bronze. That's not the one I talked about. No, I love this watch. This is too small. This is for fruities. I'm a man. 42 mil. The Hamilton Khaki Field Automatic, reference number the numbers are retarded. H70515137. Honestly, an absolute belter of a watch. Watch number 4. A watch that definitely looks more expensive than it actually is. A watch that if you put that watch on, for example, a charismatic person like me, you would think that must be a very, very special watch. That must be a very expensive watch. This is the Brew Metric Chronograph. Brew is an American brand that started a good couple of years ago. They're fully online, so you can only buy the Brew watches online.
Whoa, pause it right there. That is a cool looking watch. And did he just say an all-American watch that you could only buy online? Wow, that is very fascinating. I am looking forward to seeing this one. Okay, and I must say too, Nico, hats off to you, man. You're one of my favorite watch reviewers out there. Everybody, if you haven't, subscribe to Nico Leonard. He's got amazing reviews. He also brings in a lot of great people to his show. There is a person named Ryan Serhant, amazing realtor. You might have heard of his name by now, but if you haven't, you should take a look at his channel too. These are people that are definitely shaking up the industry, and they do amazing reviews, and they have a lot of good insight. And so I really appreciate his videos. I think that my perspective on watches has definitely shifted due to this man right here.
The majority of the watches they produce are quartz powered, but they also have some mechanical watches in their collection. But my favorite is definitely this variation. This particular one is inspired on the 1970s. And let me say, this watch retails at £360 sterling, which is the equivalent of $400 or $500. I don't think you can find a cooler chronograph with a cooler bracelet, quartz powered like this for that money. I think it's cool. It definitely looks significantly more expensive than it actually is. That's an incredible gift. What's number 5? One of my favorite brands of the last 2 years. I've spoken about, man, so much. It's class. For €639, you will not find a better value for money mechanical dive watch with a Swiss movement than this incredible Man Hudson 38. I've spoken about Man so many times, and I'm really happy to see that you guys love Man as much as I do. One of the perfect watches to receive as a Christmas present. So tell your wife to hurry up and get it sorted.
You love receiving from Matt.
F off. Watch number 6. The Citizen, and I never speak about Citizen, but the Citizen, how the f do I pronounce this watch, Marco?
Tsuyosa.
Tsuyosa, because I'm not Japanese, and he, for some reason, is. Automatic, small seconds. Genuinely, the watch is class. Bracelet is class. There's millions of different watches in a bracelet. Everyone copies each other. It's a big shit show. Citizen just copied themselves. This is based, I believe, on something in their historic line. I really love it, and they price it absolutely perfect. A watch that you can buy today between $450 and $550. Really, really cool. And you know what? It's an automatic movement. This is
I love Nico. He's got some of the best one-liners that are out there. And wow, this watch is sick. Okay, so like, makes me think of Seiko's, obviously. Obviously, Seiko's the big name in the Japanese watch game. But this Citizen automatic watch with the small seconds hand, amazing. Nothing to balk at. That being said, some of these watches, like the Man watch, really nice. And it's incredible like what a lot of these micro brands have done, creating a name in the watch world. And it's amazing how a lot of these people, such as Nico, have brought this information to the front page. So that way the rest of us can discover these amazing brands.
the Citizen
Tsuyosa.
Toyosa, reference number NK, let me have a look, 5010. No, I could have remembered that. There's several dial variations, and there's also one without small seconds. Watch number 7. This one is controversial because this watch retails at £930 sterling, which is more than $1,000, but I'm just gonna cheat this one in because I can, because it's my video and I want to educate you guys the best I can. Once upon a time this was below $1,000 because once upon a time the sterling and dollar was thick. I mean, you see what I mean. But I really love this watch. A watch from a Swiss watch brand called Mido. I never talk about Mido. A watch brand that finds its origin in 1912. And the cool bit is today they're in the top 10 of Swiss watch brands that actually make the most chronometers in the world, period. Done. This is the Mido Commander. Big date for people like me. Love that watch, particularly the gray dial. There's several variations of the Commander. There's also some very ugly ones. However, this particular one is absolutely beautiful. It's a size of 42mm. The bracelet is just perfect. It's a fully automatic Swiss watch. Reference number, and please bear with me because Jesus Christ, you can have some numbers. Reference number, and put this in, Johnny, because people need to know this. It's really important. M0216261106100. Holy f***. Can we just make this easier in the future? Really want to highlight Mido, and I want to talk a wee bit more about Mido in the future. Watch number 8. A watch brand.
Okay, guys. Dare I say that Mido watch looks a lot like another watch that rhymes with it. Movado. And yeah, you know, Movado, obviously, they're not necessarily a watch lover's watch. They're kind of a fashion watch. So probably can't classify them into the same category as Mido, which of course, like he mentioned, produces some of the highest amounts of chronometers that are out there. So Movado, though, in terms of style cue and its modernity, which I'm usually not a super fan of things that are modern, I like futuristic things, that's different. But this Mido watch has a nice modern look. I mean, it looks like a very good watch that could be dressed up in a very suited environment on a very busy business street. Or maybe you could even dress it down and wear streetwear with it. And it would just blend so well for a casual, understated look. I wonder what other watches they have that are similar to that design, because I can see different colorways potentially in my brain. Just thinking it over and imagining it, that would be sick with some nice streetwear fits. So let's continue.
And I don't know if we ever talked about Certina. Did we put them in the tier list?
No.
Certina is also a watch brand that is owned by the Swatch Group. This is the Certina DSPH200. If Arnold Schwarzenegger would wear that watch, you would think, oh, that must be something really expensive. This watch on the mesh bracelet with that unbelievably, it's a wee bit vintage inspired bezel. I really like that watch. I am sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not apologizing to anyone. It's just a really good looking watch. I've seen this watch in person. I handled this watch. I think it is such a cool watch for the money. So now we need to go to 9 for the Germans. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Number 9 needs to go very quick because I have a grand finale. But a really, really important mention is Nevada. Nevada, a watch brand that has been revived. It finds its origin in 1926, but we can't really count that today. They've been revived and they make some really cool stuff. And a chronograph, a quartz chronograph that actually really looks the bollocks. This is the Nevada Chrono King. Reference number, let me peek, 8704 2Q01. Retails from about $600 and it looks absolutely insane. For that money, with that bracelet, a wee bit inspired by the Speedmaster, to be honest. A vintage Speedmaster for sure, that bracelet. It comes on a leather strap and a bracelet. Absolutely the bollocks. Value for money, that's my watch number 9. I have actually 2 watches left for number 10, so it's 10-1 and 10-2. Yeah, but my problem is they're both from the same brand. Seiko brought out a new GMT. As you know, the GMT is my favorite complication. Because I travel all over the world, I want to be able to read my home time and my away time. Meaning the time of the location that I'm currently present and the time at home. For me, the GMT is the most functional and best complication ever. And Seiko has made a lot of GMTs throughout the years, a lot of horrendous looking ones, but the recent GMT they introduced is the absolute bollocks. I would actually say a wee bit inspired on the Tudor Black Bay Pro, which was inspired on the Rolex Explorer. Seiko has also made some copies of Rolexes in the past. This is what I would not call a copy or a homage. A watch that is inspired if we look at the bezel. Value for money for $400-500. A GMT with that design, with that bracelet from...
Okay, guys. The Seiko, pretty solid offering there. I mean, with it being $500, that's pretty incredible. And yes, like you mentioned, it takes a lot of inspiration from other watches, but I mean, that's pretty good for having a GMT complication in it. I mean, now you can actually afford your trip to Aspen versus, spending all of your money on a watch like I did. So, yeah, definitely something to consider.
A really important watch brand. I think that's proper value for money. Reference number SS, and we're not thinking about the Germans.
Was soll ich von diesen Jugendschweinen noch ertragen?
Seiko GMT reference number SSK023. Absolute belter, home run, a watch that definitely looks more expensive than it actually is. That was 10 number 1. And then I really want to talk about 10-2 or watch 11, which is the Prospect Speed Timer for $800-900. That's a really good looking chronograph. Fonda dial, you cannot go wrong. A really good looking watch. 6, 8, 7, 8, whatever, $800-900. Let her have it. These are the watches you need to demand from your wife. If you're watching this video before Christmas, after Christmas, you need to buy it yourself, you cheap.
Okay, guys, that's a wrap. These watches are pretty cool. And I mean, those speed timers, or the speed timer Seiko chronographs, those are pretty sick at $900. And what else? I mean, yeah, that Nevada Chrono King, wow, stunning quartz chronograph with those Speedmaster vibes. That's pretty sick too. I mean, lots of great affordable watches. And they kind of make you look like a high roller, but won't cost you the earth. Whether you're gifting, one for the holidays or even just treating yourself, these are the watches to consider. Now, don't forget to hit that bell notification, like, and subscribe. This is Daniel with Chronosapien. Again, peace out.